Hi everybody, it's great to be back here getting to Parashat Shelach, and I want to open up with a story. A few months ago, my mother passed away, and one of my teachers that go way back 40 years ago, he came. I haven't seen him for ages, and he came 40 years. It's been a very, very long time, and he came to express his condolences. He came to pay a shiva call, and we reconnected. And I've been part of his. He has a WhatsApp group where he was a teacher for many, many years in the United States. He moved to Israel in 2013 or 14, many years ago, but he still maintains his relationship with his students abroad. And I'm on that WhatsApp group, and I noticed this week something was very disturbing to me. I mean, the Jews were talking about how terrible the situation is becoming in the U.S. They feel it's pre-Nazi Germany. They don't know what to do. And they said, well, thank God, the conclusion was, thank God they have Israel to run away to come and escape to the land of Israel. And I right away wrote back, but I didn't write back on the group. I wrote back directly to my teacher, and I said, this really disturbed me. I said, people relating to the land of Israel people shouldn't be relating to Israel as a place to run away to, as an escape to. It should be a first choice. That's exactly what the Synod of the Spies was all about. When they couldn't go back to Egypt and have their gefilte fish in Egypt, or whatever they had, all the things in Egypt. So they said, okay, we'll go to the land of Israel. When they saw that now they were going to die in the desert, they had no choice. And they said, okay, we'll go to Israel. So the next day they get up and a large group is trying to make its way to Israel, whatever it was, the Mapilim. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, do not do this. It's not going to be successful anymore because you spoiled your opportunity. And they didn't listen, and then the terrible tragedy happened, as we all know. So that exactly was part of the Synod of the Spies, was that they did not relate to Israel properly. They looked at Israel as some kind of second choice at the end of the day. They didn't want to go. They were afraid of the challenges that were in the land. And that we have to be so careful with. So all those people today, the Jews abroad that are going through a hard time with anti-Semitism and all that, of course, come back. Now you should come back, but realizing you're coming back to your land and that's the right thing to do, not because of a runaway or a getaway, because it's where your soul will reconnect with the land, the soul of the land, and that's where you can be in the highest possible level of the relationship with God. There's a famous book called the Kuzari, Rabbi Yehuda Levi. He wrote this book way back in the Middle Ages, and it's a fascinating study of a king, and I've spoken about it, who's an idol-worshiping king, and he has a dream that he's searching, and his heart is in the right place. He's searching, right, because his heart is in the right place, but he's still worshiping idols, and God tells him to find the proper way in life, and he meets this rabbi, and it's an amazing, amazing story of how he became his student, and how eventually he shedded off his idols and became Jewish, and he even actually his whole country became Jewish as well. It's a true story. But Rabbi Yehuda Halevi bases this story on the story he uses as a framework for his amazing work in teaching Jewish faith. And one of the questions that are raised by the king is, I can understand, the special nation, but what does it mean a special land? That was hard for him to understand. Why can't a person be a good Jew anywhere in the world? Why does he have to be in the land of Israel? It was hard for him to grasp that. And Rabbi Yehuda Halevi was telling him, and he explained to him, it's very easy for you to understand that certain areas, certain lands are very conducive for certain things. We know people have certain lands, great minerals, or great, they have reservoirs of oil and fine metals and all this. So certain places are excellent for growing certain crops, and they taste better there than anywhere else in the world. They're saying, every land has its special, unique qualities. So he said the land of Israel is unique and special for raising the Jewish nation to its height. So then the king says, well, I don't say anything special. What's unique? So the Rabbi Yehuda Halevi answers him and says the speciality of Israel, is not seen only through hard work. Why? Because just like anything else, when a person gets the proper land, he's planting vineyards. If he doesn't work and taking away the weeds and giving them water and giving them the proper nourishment the way they need, obviously he won't be utilizing the potential that the land has. So the same way, of course, the people of Israel, that's the land of prophecy, that's the land of the Jewish people. But if we don't work on our spirituality and through our study of faith and Torah, we're not going to utilize and materialize the amazing potential we have in living in the land. But that's, of course, the point. We have to be here in order to do that. And we, God forbid, we shouldn't be abroad. And the nation of Israel is unique, our religion, that it's not only just the Torah. I spoke about it so many times. It's not just following the Torah, but it's the land together with the Torah. We're like, we could be only complete Jews in the land of Israel. And that's extremely important, And people asking, but over the years, there are these great rabbis living abroad in America, the Gedolim, they said they can remain there, they don't have an obligation. But of course, we see that the majority of great rabbis were always knew and taught us we have to come to the land and we have to live it, and they themselves made attempts to do so. And that's really has to be the main stream of understanding, not individuals that have certain opinions, which we see those opinions are not relevant. But I'm just mentioning that because that was part of the group discussion. But getting back to what we're saying, understanding that Israel has that ability to meet the potential of the nation of Israel. What is our potential in reality? And that is prophecy. Is that we, through the holiness in developing ourselves in the land of Israel, we could reach the highest levels where we saw prophets that walked the land, Jeremiah and Isaiah, the return of prophecy to the land of Israel. And that's what's going to happen. With all the craziness and the wars that surround us and the world hating us, I'm saying to myself, what's going to cause the change? What's going to bring a change about? We have billions of haters against Israel in the world. What's going to be? What's going to be for Israel? And the answer is, if we come back to the land the way we should and meet our potential and develop our inner spirituality, we will reach such high levels of spirituality that the world's mouths will drop and they will want to be close to the people of Israel. They will want to receive from Israel, not only in our amazing ingenuity of technical developments and all that. We're excellent. They buy that. They hate us and they buy our scientific discoveries, our technology, and they still hate us. But if they realize that we have to offer a true happiness in life, what redemption of our soul is, connected to the creator of the universe, things that did not exist anywhere in the world, only through Israel, they can reach that level of true happiness when their souls are combined to their creators and join in the most highest level of spirituality, feeling which will overtake the entire world. Believe me, the world will love Israel, and that will turn everything around. And that can only happen when we're a nation in the land and we understand who we are and we return to our roots. And that's what we, as a Jewish people, must focus on in the coming years, in the coming months. We have to focus on that, and we have to make this revolution in the world. And then we'll see an amazing turnaround, how the entire world will come and want to hear from the people of Israel as we all celebrate with our building of our third temple, which will be the source of spirituality for the entire world. As it says, Ki beiti beit tefillah yikarei lechol amei. My house will be called the house of prayer for all nations. That's really the beauty that lies behind the message of the land of Israel, why we have to be here. And Shabbat Shalom, Besorot Tovot, Yeshuot v'Nechamot.